Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Mental Monday. So this week I wanted to talk about something that I have debated back and forth whether or not I should actually talk about in any kind of way with too many details or anything, because it is such a hot topic. Like, it's such a controversial topic right now, and it's such a inflammatory topic, and that is this election. I know I have commented in the sense of saying I feel like this election is crazy, that it has gone so far beyond what I think anybody expected. And the choices for candidates are not ones that a huge majority of people are super stoked about. I think on either side, really. I'm hearing more and more that everybody's like, well, you kind of just have to pick the lesser of the two evils. And that's a really sad place to be. And I do try to look at it in a positive sense, in that both sides do legitimately have positive aspects to them in one way or another. However you want to take it, they're bad and good to each. I don't want to say who I'm actually gonna vote for. It took me a long time to settle on who I was gonna vote for, because it just took a lot of processing of everything that's out there right now. But I just wanted to comment on the mentality it creates. I think this has been one of the most inflammatory elections in a while. Even Obama's election, I don't think was this chaotic or this divisive. I feel like there has been so much opinion thrown out and not as much actual legit discussion, and there has been such a groupthink mentality where people are just trying to get you to think the way they do. They're not listening to your points of view or listening to why you think differently, why you might not agree, and what your legitimate concerns may be about whatever side you're the most concerned about. And I wanted to kind of touch on that, because that can be dangerous and that can be very persuasive when somebody's telling you all of these horrible things, or somebody's saying all of these wonderful looking things, and then you're not researching beyond that. I think this goes under mental health, because mental health is a part of voting. I think it's an issue that we have to think about when we vote, as far as how that person stands on those issues, as well as the way society is working. It's social psychology, the way we're all as a society working together, and how that is being manipulated or portrayed or talked about, discussed, approached. I just would say it is those moments where you need to find your own voice within that crowd, whatever way you land. This is not in any way going to be me trying to tell you why you should vote like me at all. I'm not even going to say how I'm going to vote. I just really wanted to, the day before the election, give everybody a little encouragement to do your own research. I know this is a little late, the election's tomorrow, but there's still time to really think about it more clearly and really define what your views are, and not go with where you think you should, even though you may not be totally convinced, or you may not know the whole story behind it. And I think this is a really great opportunity to grow in our country's ability to be different, to be the country that allows everybody to think the way they do without fighting, without putting each other down when we don't think the same, without being mean or hateful towards people when we don't think the same, or shutting down argument because you don't agree with me, so you're obviously not thinking right. There is so much value in having diversity, in having different ways of thinking, and being able to think differently but be one is super important. Interdependence is such an important value to have, where we can be individuals but also be one country, and that can get messed up when the media says whatever they feel like saying, when politicians are saying whatever they think you want to hear, and when the loudest voices say that theirs is the majority opinion when you don't actually have evidence to prove that yours is the majority opinion. So do give yourself that time to really figure out what you think and what you value out of everything we're voting on. We're not just voting on the next president, we're also voting on some fairly substantial propositions and senators, and I would just say be really strong in your views and go after what you truly think is the best for this country. No matter what anybody else around you is saying, whatever you think is the best, go with your heart. Go with what you feel is right and what your morals, your values tell you is right. If everybody does that, our system works the way it was set up to work, where we all get our own voice in it. And that can be difficult. That can get discouraged by feeling like you're only one vote out of something billion, and how are you really supposed to make a difference in that? But do your part. I would say definitely, no matter how you vote, vote. Exercise your right to have a voice. Exercise your right to express your opinion on these things that we're voting on, and find your voice in it, your stance, and your own identity within everything we're voting on and within our country and all of the political workings of it. So I am excited to see how this election turns out. I'm scared. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. Whatever it is, we can then move on and move beyond it and go from there, and we get a new starting point. So I think that in and of itself can be exciting, and this time of year for beginnings always excites me because we're almost at the end of the year. And while that is crazy to me, that is such a fresh start. And I know that gets cliche to say, like, oh, it's a new beginning, a new president, a new year soon. But it's true. And anything that you maybe have been scared to do, nervous to do, kind of anxious about taking a leap on, this could be your chance to just try it. Try it and see. Or things that you're wanting to change in your life, use that opportunity. And if you aren't somebody that's ever had much of an opinion on these things, or really vocalized your opinion, or maybe you've abstained from voting because you just don't believe it makes a difference, I would encourage you to give it a try and to vote. And we will see November 9th what happens. So I know this wasn't the traditional Mental Monday. It was just a little bit of psychology applied to the election that we're going through, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was an intriguing thought about groupthink, social psychology, all of that kind of thing, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it encouraged you, and if you are excited to vote, give this video a thumbs up, and if you enjoyed it, share it with everybody. If you are not already subscribed, click the screen and subscribe, and then you can see when the next video comes out. And I will see you guys in that one. Bye!